This is Justin on Wednesday, December 28th, 2022. Looking back a few days, I took some time off of these around Christmas. Hope you enjoyed some days with family, friends, and celebrating Christmas. And here we are. So last Wednesday, we did some retracing. We came right back up into this line. It's been on here for a little bit. Um, the last time we kind of sold off was from a line, similar color. So it's going back a little ways, I think to September. So we ran up right into that and then gapped down the next day. I was kind of noticing we were really around the same area with this green line here as we were the last couple days, and then we got a bit of a trap today. But kind of along with this, we had a gap down that day. Um, Not much of a gap, but enough of a gap that it ran down. And then this was also kind of below some of the action. So I mean, the action was above this line. We gapped down here, and then this we were gapping below all of the choppiness of that day. Gap down, and then I was kind of noticing that there's some higher lows going on there, and we kind of spread those out over 2 days this time. So I'm seeing some similarities where we had kind of a gap down and a sell-off here, gap down and a sell-off, some retracement into a triangle, and then what we did, so an ascending triangle in this case on Tuesday, and then we had Friday and Tuesday, since Monday was a holiday, or celebrating a holiday, recognition of a holiday being Christmas. So markets were closed on Monday. And we kind of had the opposite thing happen. So instead of a gap up out of this triangle, we kind of just went sideways still some more. And then the sell-off, instead of it being bought up, which it kind of looked like might happen originally, we had something similar happen in that area. Instead, we just got more selling. And so it's going to be easier to kind of look at that on the daily. So we actually put in a really strong hammer inside day, almost an inside day, or just about the high. It was just the tiniest bit higher high. Um, and this all looks like a really nice, pretty clean triangle, or you could say it's more of a flag pattern on the bearish side. And so today's candle is actually breaking down from that flag. So we took out the bull candle from 2 days ago, 2 trading days ago, and back in here, so we can see we've obviously got some selling that came in, but without the gap, it's like, okay, what really could we have done here? Looking for a 10 EMA, got to wait that first hour, and right around that hour mark, we were, or right before that hour mark, we were having some consolidation right up into the 10, and then it broke down before that hour had passed. So that would have been from 8:30 to 9:30. So no trading it then. There are some rules around if it does make a high within the first 20 minutes, which actually it looks like it did. Okay, so this could have been traded, but we didn't get a bull candle. I guess this is a bull candle closing below the 10. After that, yeah, your stop would have to be way up here, and then your entry is down here. This candle would have negated it. So I still think it would, most likely you would have had to wait to trade this. Let's go see if anything looks a little different on SPY. And okay, nope, we got kind of the same sort of movement. Yeah, kind of tweezer bottomish here. No, that is a tweezer bottom. Okay, and then this candle breaks it. Yeah, but this candle got above it. That's a really nice inverted hammer. Got above here, so that all negated it. So really the setup would be after the breakdown from the previous low. You got a bull candle here. You would have been getting in below that, probably below that wick, just not get wicked in, which that candle kind of did. And you got some consolidation in here. So let's go look at an option to see what could you have done with this kind of a setup where you're really looking for an entry here and your stop needs to be there, but in the options, we can probably do a little better than that. So let's go look at the 380 call and put and see what's going on there. I've got those set up on the other charts here. So here's the 380 call, and you do have kind of very similar movement with the candles closing below the 10. This one just pokes above a little bit. And then here's the candle we're talking about. Here's that same kind of triangle. It's a descending triangle here. And that would have been the same kind of setup. So you want to short the call, or let's go and look at what you could have done then with a put. And again, very similar setup. You really want to get in above this high. So that would have been getting in about 0.9, and a stop, I think comfortably would be about 0.4. So you can get into two of those contracts for $100 risk. And it would have triggered on that candle. And then it would have run very quickly, actually doubling the option contract, but you easily could have gotten out around, let's see, 1.6 would have been, or 1.5 would have been like 1.2R target. You could have obviously just gotten out of one and then held through this S curve, and then that continued on up. And then there's some other opportunities later on in the day for a continued move lower. We did have a really large retracement here. Well, not large, but enough that it's like, okay, we're going down. Here's a retracement into some percentage, but also right back into that level. It's pretty even here. This is making lower highs, obviously, as we go down. Here's a 10 EMA setup. We definitely retraced into that with this 10 EMA setup here. And then that candle was a great candle to go bearish. It's technically not a bullish candle, technically not a bearish candle. It's a flat candle. But that's still something that you could have traded this bearish, like just the indecisiveness of this. And it's not a bear candle. So those are kind of some gray area, and this charting software puts it in gray, and there's some other ones who turn it green. So but it open and close are the same levels. That's what I'm laughing about. But that was an entry for a 10 EMA, so you could have traded that. And that was the same candle here, so that would have been getting in like 1.8 or maybe 1.75. Yep, 1.75 by 1.25. That would have been a great setup for another two contracts, and that would have moved up into probably this previous high. What I do like about just the way this option moved, and you can look at different options. You can look at ones that are a little further in the money, but this would have been two contracts here. Came right back to that 0.9 price, then gave you another time to buy the same setup. It didn't quite work here. Didn't quite get down to 0.9. Got down to 1, but we weren't looking at 1. If you adjusted your entry a little bit, sure. All these times you could have bought at 1 and stopped at 0.5. 1 and 0.5, 1 and 0.5. All those would have worked really nicely. The first one and the last one, great, but this middle one, it was just kind of choppy. I think you still could have gotten a decent gain from any of these three. But just looking at a single option, the 380 put, to see kind of what would have worked, how that moved. And you have the same kind of thing happening on the SPX and the SPY, that we've got this gap down. We still have this open gap here, and we're kind of chopping around, going sideways, maybe looking like possible double bottom. And then we didn't get a buying candle like this gap up that we did a few days back. We got some more selling. We've already closed this gap. We're selling down a little further. We have some other resistance or some other support here. It's easier to see that on the SPX, where I've got the lines or that zone drawn on the daily here. So that's what I'm talking about. We're getting pretty close to this level. I may need to extend that soon. That'll be around 37.30. That's a nice target to move into. We're not very far away from that. Really not that far away from it. I'm guessing we'll have some more selling come in tomorrow, because we are breaking down from this kind of like a flag here, or a pennant. So this breaking down, next thing is we should take out the low here. That's if all of this lines up, we should continue to roll. Well, that's interesting too. So where we retraced today is actually the low from here, the low from here. So we're just retesting previous supports as new resistance. So we got to break back above those if we're going to move back up. But right now it's looking like just some more rollovers happening. That's what the chart's telling me. We'll wait to see how things open up tomorrow to see where things could go. but that's what I got. The last few days, again, if we just zoom out on this, I think there was kind of lighter things going on Friday and Tuesday because of just the holiday, everyone kind of getting a feel for things, but we did get a nice sell-off on Thursday. And so this was kind of like the first warning shot. Like here, we got a really nice bull day, nice gap up. Here comes the Santa rally, and then it collapses. And this was a great day to be selling. This is a great day to be going bearish, and hope some folks took advantage of that. We just need to rest. Like after a breakout, false breakout, breakdown, we just need to come in here, consolidate, rest, and now here we are kind of rolling back down. And I think that's next. I think we're going to push down and take out these lows. I don't really think we've got good levels in here to come back into. So today's close was 37.8322. So that was, that was right in here. So it's actually harder to see with this. What I'm trying to do is just zoom in a little more. Okay. And just draw these in. So down here, we actually had a really nice reversal of this inverted head and shoulders, neckline. Here's the retest. Then we kind of rally back out. You can draw this bigger with, this being shoulder, head, and another shoulder. Just, there's a number of ways to draw this, but we're already down into this level here for the bigger, let me redraw this. So this level, that was not a good drawing. This level, if you consider this a shoulder, this a complex head, this a shoulder, and then that's your neckline retest. Like that's where we closed today. So it just makes sense that, we'll pause here. We sold back down to this level because there was some reversal happening here. I think we'll continue to push back down through that tomorrow. If we bounce here again, look for it to get above the 10 and give you some things like this, because this was clearly reversing. You had, this shaping up. Look for something like that to happen. You can just keep drawing this. Like you had the consolidation like this, it broke down, pushed lower, and then you started to chop. And when you were still making lower lows and lower highs until you weren't, and you start making a higher low and relative high, it's like, oh, what's happening here? Oh, we're reversing here. Let's get in bullish above these candles and at least see if we can target, this area. And we got there back into that triangle breakdown. So that's the area that we're in. That's the area that we're back down into. And we already took out this pivot from earlier in the day today, and we made a new low. I think we would have to consolidate like this again. So if we can do something tomorrow where we push down a little bit more, come back up and retest that level, then I think we should push down lower below this low. That's kind of what I'm anticipating for tomorrow. I've been wrong plenty of times. Make sure you understand how to read the chart and trade with the trend and look for the 10 EMA setup. If you don't know what I'm talking about and somehow you found this channel, click the link in the description, go there, set up a free account, learn the stuff, take the beginner courses for free, just learn how to trade. And there's an incredible community there where we can share trading ideas and just focus on what the education is that is not taught in schools. So hope this helps. This is Justin. Thanks.